Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm KRX, and this is another episode looking at the individual features of the Traffic Manager Present Edition Toolkit. And this time we're going to be looking at vehicle restrictions. So if we go into the toolkit here, we can find one of them is called vehicle restrictions. We can see it down here. It's in the second row. And if we click on this, just kind of like the lane connector that we talked about, we can start to there's a highlight going on, kind of like in Move It actually, right? We can highlight and we can grab these different roads. And that's now bringing up icons because we still have this little button highlighted and we're grabbing onto things. Actually, can you shift grab? No, you cannot shift grab like in Move It. That would have been insane. But we can go through, we can see that it's actually divvying up each individual lane. In fact, let's go look at, let's go look at like a freeway. So we have 3 lanes here, and we can customize the actual vehicles that are allowed to be in these different lanes on an individual level. So one of the things I really like to do, now one of the things you do need to know is if you hold shift, okay, and apply, it's going to apply to the entire segment of the road. So it's going to apply all of this, what we just did, all the way to this point where there's a junction. And it's going to apply it all the way over here until there's another junction. Like it's still being applied. It's still being applied, and it would end over here at this when there's another junction, right? So by doing shift, it does it that way. Otherwise, if we just do that, like we disable buses there, it does not apply to this bit. It only applied to this bit. So that's whether or not you do shift. We can see it with shift. There we go. So that's really, really nice. So let's look at what these actually are though, right? So when we're looking at these icons, we have the emergency vehicles, police, ambulance, fire trucks. That's basically what we're getting here. And then we have the recycling symbol, which actually is the garbage pickup and also death care. It's important to note that the death care, the hearses are categorized as garbage basically in this mod's breakdown. So this would be if you needed garbage to get somewhere, or if you needed death care to get somewhere, you'd need this to be on, right? By default, everything's on. These are the freight trucks, the delivery trucks. These are the taxis. So this, unless you're using taxis, this probably I'd never really mess around with that. And then this is buses. So we can actually make our own custom bus lanes with this. This is so cool. And then we can also do cars. Just regular sort of commuter cars, right? Just this would include tourists, just generic civilian vehicles, right? So if we're looking at, let's say, this boulevard right here, we can actually make this a bus only, like by essentially making this segment a bus only lane. That would be turning everything else off into this right lane, right? That's now bus only. So that's really cool. So now you can actually, I don't think there are here we're gonna take a little sneak peek here. I have network extension. You know what, I apologize guys, I actually have I have additional road types, but my point of the story is you can then make bus lanes from road types that don't have bus lanes in the base game, like a two-way one-way road, like on a roundabout like this, right? There's no I don't believe there's any bus lanes like this that you get with mass transit or that you get with the game itself that would allow you to make this into a bus lane. But we could actually make this a bus lane if we wanted to. So to be able to make our own bus lanes wherever we want is really just kind of a cool little thing. We could make taxi roads if we wanted to. One of the things that I really like to do is on the freeways. This I think is kind of cool. On the freeways, what we could do is we can actually disable trucks in the passing lane. How thematic is that? You know what I mean? So if this is a 3-lane highway, at least, in the United States, typically trucks are not, it's frowned upon to see semi-trucks in this left lane. This is a passing lane. You're not supposed to be sitting in this lane. And trucks usually have a lower speed limit than commuter cars. So by actually doing this, we can actually restrict trucks from here. And that instantly means that the trucks are going to be in the middle lane and the commuter cars are still good. Look at this distribution. We're getting commuter cars in the left lane. We're getting trucks in the middle lane. That's perfect. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're getting a better distribution. If we had a conga line of cars and all the cars were just piling up in the outer lane for whatever reason, we could actually restrict freight trucks, and that would immediately divide the entire group of cars into 2 lanes, right? It would push all of these freight trucks from this big conga line here and push them into a different one of the other 2 lanes. So that's really, really cool. Heck, you could make this if you wanted to. You could just make this an emergency lane. Absolutely. You could make this an emergency lane, and then maybe this one right here would be, maybe this one right here would be the passing lane. So this is the passing lane. Trucks are not allowed in it. So commuter cars are probably going to be in this lane. Trucks are going to be in the first lane. And then this lane right here is for emergency vehicles to pass, to you zoom ahead and pass, right? So this could be an effective system. So you could do whatever you want, right? It's really fun. You could customize it there. Of course, you can customize it through these roads. Heck, if you had a really busy road, imagine like in a neighborhood, right? Instead of you could do a heavy traffic ban, but imagine how like in this, like there was a main neighborhood road and you notice a lot of trucks are using it to get through the neighborhood on their way to commercial deliveries and stuff like that. Very simple, very simple. We could just be like, no, 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 holding shift and doing that. There's no trucks on this road, please. No trucks on this road. So you can divert traffic to other roads. You can divert different kinds of traffic to other roads. You might actually want to make a service only road. There might be a situation where you don't want anybody driving on these roads. You want pedestrians only. Maybe you only want services on these roads. And you kind of make this like you could make kind of like a super block, right? Where everybody sort of like walks around, like the people that live here walk to their home, and you can actually restrict their ability to move around. And we actually have buses right now that are trying to go around and they're just completely going chaotic. But we can make this area right here completely unusable by non-emergency vehicles and non-garbage. Of course, you still in the how the game works, you still need death care and garbage pickup. You still need emergency vehicles to be able to respond to these. But we can actually restrict the cars, and it looks like they're still driving around. And that could be just that the AI has a little bit of a thing to update itself. But it's really, really neat. It's all based on the individual lanes. If we grab a segment, we can just immediately do a little quick button here to ban all cars. I never hit or allow all. I never actually hit any of these buttons. I usually just go in here and customize how I want it. And then, yeah, so there's some little buttons up here, but I never actually... Ooh, you can actually do an invert thing, too. So you can actually hit these, and then you can invert like that just to to save time. If you're really savvy with these buttons, maybe you could use those and save a few seconds. I just click on the segment I want and do the customizations that I need. Simple as that. But actually, if you forgot to hold shift, it looks like you can hit this button and that will then retroactively apply it to the rest of the segments on that between junctions. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So there you go, guys. That's the vehicle restrictions. You can use this to control traffic flow. If you see everybody using particular roads, you can actually divert traffic to other roads by making those busy roads have different restrictions that don't allow all the different kinds of traffic to travel on those roads. That's really, really cool. You can do a lot of freeway optimization. You can make service roads. Again, you can make like pedestrian-focused roads where you're not allowing cars on it because you just want pedestrians to walk. You could disallow vehicles on roads, so it's only for pedestrians. That's kind of cool too, because there's mods that add pedestrian roads. Zonable pedestrian roads. These are like with network extensions, right? So if you have these, people will still drive on these because they're just regular roads, unless you have traffic manager mod. So if we look at these are just regular roads. Now it looks cool. It looks like it's only for pedestrians, right? It looks like it's only for pedestrians. But if we go in here, we can see that no, it turns out that cars can actually drive on this until we tell them they can't. So this is just a fantastic tool. Really, really fun to use. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with this. Again, of course, we do actually need emergency response and death care and garbage pickup, but still, thematically, you're not going to see many cars actually driving on that road there, which is really, really neat. But here's the thing. The power of this vehicle restrictions will get even magnified once we actually start to incorporate the next thing that we're going to look at in the next episode, in the next tutorial, which is the speed limits. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.